What's good, people? Cosmic Lou here, coming to you from my front porch. I love it out here. It's a nice day. But anyway, let's talk about some comics. Last night, today, I got to read a couple of really good ones. One coming from Aftershock Comics called Volition, and it takes place in the future. And at the end of the 21st century, a doctor named Elizabeth Tremor developed AI in her apartment, and so the AI evolved and it became androids, synthezoids, and they lived, they were laborers, they were butlers and stuff, and then they developed and grew and actually earned the right to vote and live and become normal people in society. Well, as technology evolved and as technology grew, the older models didn't get upgrades anymore, so they just started falling down by the wayside. And so they had to start fending for themselves. They weren't getting support, they weren't getting tech support anymore. And so they had to figure out what to do. So they were basically turning to crime and other sorts of stuff. And they had to turn to get their own upgrades. So they started doing like self-upgrades. You've seen it on all the sci-fi movies. It's pretty cool stuff. Now it's in a comic. If it hasn't been before, it probably has. So anyway. So in all of this, black market upgrades that they're doing, they actually developed a synthetic disease called rust. And rust is just like any disease or virus, it just kills them slowly. So that's going on. And so you have all these androids and synthezoids that have to fend for themselves to turn to crime. And so some of them start stealing parts to sell and upgrade and all the rest of this stuff. And there's this one android called Amber 7T. She's a nurse, and she's watching this one synthezoid die slowly of this rust, and he turns to her and says, you know what, I know where Dr. Tremor is. Well, Dr. Tremor disappeared a couple of years ago when all this stuff started going down. Nobody's seen her ever since. So this android tells her this, and he plugs into the back of her head and gives her all this information, and then all of a sudden she knows what he knows, and she feels like it's true. And so she becomes a target, and so she gets knocked out by her boss, of all people. But this is a really, really cool book. I highly recommend it. It's made, it's published by Aftershock Comics. Definitely check it out if you like futuristic type of, Android type of stuff. It's really cool. It kind of reminds me of iRobot, but not, somewhat. I mean, it's got the feel of it. So check it out. Aftershock Comics. Volition. That's the name of the book. The next book is actually called Crowded, and it's by Image. Now, this was a fun book. It's about a girl, basically like a quote-unquote hipster, that has all these odd jobs, and now all of a sudden she's a target for assassination. One of the recent future, in the book says 10 minutes in the future, which is kind of funny. But in the near future, everybody just basically trades goods, and everything's done on apps, and everything's done on your phone and mobily, and you can hire dog walkers like you can now. You can trade clothes like you can now. It's kind of like right now. Not right now, but it is right now. But anyway, basically somebody starts a GoFundMe to assassinate her, and that's the whole book. And so she has to hire a guy, or not really a guy, a person. I think the character is actually a female, and her name is Vita. And Charlotte is the one that's being chased around. Vita is the bodyguard. She hires Vita off of an app, and Vita has to protect her. And Vita's got like 1.5 stars. If you've ever been in an Uber or a Lyft and you get those stars, this is what it's all based on. And she's not a really a great bodyguard, but she'll have to do. So, really fun book. It has a lot going on. Doesn't have a whole lot going on, but it's just really fun. It kind of pokes fun at reality right now. So definitely check that one out. Next one was actually Pearl, written by Brian Michael Bendis. And this is kind of like, it's good. It's not great. It is based a little bit and kind of has a feel of Jessica Jones, which they compare it to. And what Pearl is that Pearl is actually a tattoo artist who somehow used to be an assassin, and now she's actually killed a Yakuza in a gunfight, and now a kingpin wants her to be his personal tattoo artist and also an assassin, because somewhere down the line she figured out how to kill people properly. I don't get it. You know, that's just me. But it's not a bad read. It's Bendis. He's doing some, you know, when he signed on with DC, they probably gave him a huge green light and said, you can write whatever you want to. And he did. Feels like Jessica Jones. Looks like Jessica Jones. We'll see where it goes. And, of course, issue number 5 of Skyward came out yesterday. And I know some people are going to say, well, why didn't you wait and read all 5 of them at once and do a big review on all of them? Because I didn't want to. That's why. I wanted to read those and talk about those before this one came out. And this one was a really good one. So where it left off is that the dad, Nathan, was actually, he got caught in the storm, in a rainstorm. There's no gravity, so all the rain becomes this huge bubble of water. He gets trapped in one of those because he's on the roof, like trying to center himself. He gets trapped in a bubble. Willa goes and saves him. They come up with an idea to go and save, what is his name? I can't remember his name. The guy with no legs. Can't remember his name. Elliot? Oh, Edison. They had decided to go save Edison because he got kidnapped. And so when they decided to go and save Edison, they ride the bubble toward a building, and Edison's in there. It just so happens that they happen to be right there, right? Kind of easy. And Edison's being held captive by Barrow because he wants Willa to trade her dad for Edison, and they end up shooting out a window, flooding the building with water, all this rainwater, and they think Barrow's dead, but Barrow's not dead after the flood. So they save Edison, they're on a rooftop, and Barrow comes and snatches up Willa, and he's holding her captive and has a gun. And so to try to get away, he fly up. There's no gravity. So he fires a gun and they shoot straight up in the sky, right? And so they're both heading for the atmosphere, and then he just grabs her and sacrifices her and kicks her towards the sky, and he goes plummeting back down to Earth. Well, her dad, who has never left the apartment in 20 years, jumps up there and saves her. And when he grabs her, he pushes her back down to Earth to save her, sacrifice himself. Really tugs at the heartstrings on that one. That's some really good stuff. And so he basically tells her, listen, I'm saving you so you can carry on my work. One of us has to do it, and I'd rather it be you. You know, that was a great end to that story arc. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to number 2s, actually the number 2s of the first 3, and then the number 6 of Skyward. That's about it. I really enjoyed all those books. I really hope that you can check them out. I highly recommend all of them, because most of them that I'm going to talk about, I'm going to recommend them to you. That's just the truth. Butterfly. That was cool. But I'm just going to finish enjoying my porch for the rest of the afternoon. Probably make something to eat. Enjoy your Thursday, people. So until next time, Cosmic Lou, I'm out.